Hey, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to the Hanging On to Hope podcast.
I'm Brenda J.
And I'm Karen Wonder.
And we are HangingOnToHope.org.
This podcast is intended as educational and is not psychological or medical advice. Always consult a professional when needed, and we disclaim any liability in connection with the instruction, information, or advice given. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Hanging On to Hope podcast. This is Karen W. Karen B. Formerly Karen W. Today, we're going to be talking about 8 simple ways that we can be a little happier each day. And we definitely need that in this day and age.
Hi, this is Brenda J. Now, I have to be honest, I personally have been struggling with my moods lately. I've had a lot of stress, way more than I usually do. And part of that's because I've torn my meniscus and injured myself. I haven't been able to run like I used to. Running's always been a big part of how I release stress and stay emotionally balanced. So I needed to do this podcast probably as much as we need to hear it. So we're keeping it simple and practical, just some helpful reminders of things that we can all do each day to invite more peace and joy into our lives. Okay, so let's get started. And this is all coming from an idea from an article written by Isabella Chase. We just kind of fine-tuned it to kind of how we're just going to add to how we live our lives and how we try to start out our days.
Okay, so number 1, start your day on a positive note. How you can begin your day can set the tone for everything that follows. So the verse, Matthew 6:33, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you. And I know for me, I have a gratitude journal, and I can't say that I write in it every single day, but I know the days that I take the time to just come up with 3 things to be thankful for, it just starts my attitude out in a much better mindset on the days that I forget to do that.
Yeah, that's good.
There's always something you can be thankful for, that cup of coffee that tasted so good or something. And I really do believe it's a spiritual thing. When you make your mind focus on and being grateful, it just starts your whole day good.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah.
And to me, that means starting my day by giving God my first. And I feel it's important for me in the morning to slow down. If I am rushed in the morning and I don't spend any time with the Lord, it really, really affects my day in a negative way. So slowing down and being still and inviting the Holy Spirit to fill me. Another verse that helps me anchor my mornings is Psalm 118:24. This is a day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And here's what my own morning quiet time often looks like. I'll start by reading Psalm 34, praying through the Lord's Prayer, and reflecting on Psalm 23. The cool thing about Psalm 34 is I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make its boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear of it and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me and let us exalt his name together. It's blessing the Lord, praising him first thing. And it just makes such a difference. And then the Lord's Prayer. It's just how Jesus told us to pray. It's so powerful. And Psalm 23, I think, was written, and I think God just knew we were going to have anxiety and have issues, so he makes us lie down in green pastures. He leads us beside quiet waters. And the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Just that, we live in a world where everybody just wants.
Yeah.
And I just love it. It really brings me to peace. And then sometimes I'll take communion. I try to every day. Or I'll pick up my guitar and worship. Depends on how quiet I need to feel that day. And then I go through a reflection prayer book, Walking with God. And I read the book, The Words of Jesus and the prayers of Jesus. And I go through multiple books in the Bible and ask the Lord to fill me with his presence. Some mornings I'll end with mindfulness, just sitting in stillness and listening, which leads us up to the next point.
Yeah, and for me, because I try to be at work as early as possible, so I don't feel like I have a lot of time in the morning, but even just, it usually takes me at least a half hour to get to work. So I mean, I can't say always, because sometimes I'm on my way and I just need stillness. I don't want to even listen to anything yet.
Me too.
I just spend that time maybe praying and just having that quietness. But, I have a job where I can listen to podcasts or different things while I'm working. And so a lot of times I'll listen to something on the Bible app or the Bible Project or something that gives me that devotion because, honestly, I don't have time in the morning because I like to be, my whole department starts at 6 a.m.
Oh, wow.
But I don't get there at 6 a.m. That's too early, but I try to get there before 7. And so, yeah, I don't get up early enough to really sit and have, all this time. But I feel like I can still get to work and have that time where I'm reflecting on him. And I pray all throughout my day. And, and again, like my gratitude journal, I don't write into it every day, but I know I can tell the times that I do, it does make a difference. And even if I don't write in it when I get to work and I just, okay, what are 3 things, that I'm thankful for? Just practicing gratitude. So 2, practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply being present in the moment without judgment. Just being still and aware of your thoughts, your surroundings, and how you're feeling. Even 5 minutes can make a difference. And then we try the simple breath pattern. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4. And then exhale for 4. Just repeating that a few times. I know that helps me. They say it takes you out of fight or flight. Just calming.
I always love doing these podcasts. I'm like so relaxed after I breathe. It just, for me, I have complex PTSD. So
I've been using this thing. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called a pulsetto. It's a vagus nerve stimulator. It just goes around your neck. And I don't do it in the morning because I usually don't have time, but I try to do it before I go to bed because it helps you sleep too. I do notice a difference.
Wow.
But there's other things you can do, like humming. Humming stimulates your vagus nerve.
Oh.
And singing. And there's other things you can do that help. And it just helps regulate you. And I don't know, there's science behind it. And I'm a believer in it now that I've been using it.
I'm always humming and singing. So maybe that's good.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. And I remember when I worked a job and I did get up at 5 a.m. My brain doesn't wake up that well in the morning. And
right. Me neither.
I always felt so disconnected from God. So I think even just that's why these are just practical things, even if you take 5 or 10 minutes just to try to do. So sometimes just to slow down for a moment and breathe.
Right.
Yeah.
We live in such a busy world.
Yeah. And then the next one is get moving, which it's very, very important for your mood. Mm-hmm. Movement is so important. It helps release those feel-good chemicals like endorphins and serotonin, which your body really needs, especially when you're under stress. Now, I'm currently dealing with a knee injury, so I can't run like I used to, but I still try to move. And for me, that means doing heavy weights, which is something I've always loved. Karen enjoys yoga, which is a completely different kind of movement. I did notice now that my knee's injured, I'll do more stretching and that stuff. It just feels great. But you just got to find what works for you, whether it's walking, dancing, stretching, lifting weights, or even just getting up and moving around your house. Your body and brain will thank you for it.
Mm-hmm. I even tried because I know I was helping Josiah move some stuff around. He had a weighted jump rope that he said, oh, it was still in the box. And he goes, you can have it. So I used it a couple times just to do something different.
Yeah.
And it was good. You just do it, you get your heart rate going. I didn't do it for like a half an hour or anything, but sometimes it's fun to try new things,
Oh yeah. I love jump roping, but it will make my calf so sore. Like, I couldn't handle the pain because you really work out your calves when you jump rope and you don't realize it till you're doing it.
Yeah, and it can make your heart rate go up too, but the dogs are like, what are you doing? So I was doing it in the house.
It's great cardio.
It is.
For sure. You can just do a few minutes of jump roping.
Yeah, that's all I did, but I really got my heart rate going and it was fun.
Oh, maybe I'll start doing that and then I won't have to run.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't.
And you can kind of do it at your own, you can do it fast or slower.
Because you don't have to lift your legs up high to do that.
Right.
So we'll see, maybe. It's a good exercise. Go ahead.
Number 4, connect with others. We were created for connection. Over and over again, we're reminded by people that we've had on the podcast, like Pastor Sang-Hoon Yu, the Soul Restore community with Jeff Fellman, and so many of the support groups we attend. Connection is healing. It's vital. Don't isolate, especially when you're hurting. And that's usually when you want to isolate because you feel like, oh, I'm depressed or whatever. I don't want to. But that's when you really need to be around other people or at least reach out to someone. Make time to reach out. It can be as simple as sending a thoughtful text, grabbing a cup of coffee with a friend, joining a Bible study or support group, even just checking with someone who might be struggling and being around others who see and care for you makes a big difference. We definitely need community, especially in the way our world feels so divided right now.
Yeah. And it's important to have healthy, regulated community too.
Yeah.
Like we help a lot of abuse victims and that, and sometimes that can weigh you down. Yeah. If you're someone that has a nonprofit or doing the same type of work we're doing, it's
trauma work.
It's it can be draining.
Mm-hmm.
So to find something that gives you life.
Yeah.
So this one I really felt convicted of when I read. So number 5 is practice kindness. So kindness not only blesses others, it lifts your own spirit. And here's a few simple ideas. Compliment someone genuinely. Pay for the coffee of the person behind you in line. Leave a kind note for someone. Offer a smile, prayer, just listen without interrupting. And kindness doesn't have to be big or expensive. It just needs to be sincere. And so often God will use small acts of kindness to reach someone's heart in a big way. And I was telling Karen before we started the podcast, I was with my daughter the other day and she said, you weren't mean, but you weren't being very kind. And you were and I was really grateful that she told me that, because sometimes we do lack self-awareness. And I thought, I do need to work on kindness. And then there was one day where I was just really being nice to people from my heart. And I thought, well, I'm really being nice today. So it is interesting to when you start to think about things more and then become aware. And I mean, I just love this idea of when it says offer a smile, prayer, or just listen without interrupting. Like, I don't think we realize how much we don't just listen without interrupting.
Yeah.
If that's kindness, we can just work on that one little thing.
Well, and that's convicting to me just as I read it, because, we go to the store and I mean, I do that every once in a while. I'll think to like, hey, ask them, how was your day going? And more than just like small talk, but really try to connect with them because, their day's pretty mundane if you're doing the same thing over and over.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't do that a lot. I don't take the time to stop because you're in your own little busy world. You're like, okay, I got to get out the door. I got to do this and that.
Yeah.
But stopping and taking the time to acknowledge someone and ask them how their day is.
Yeah. Or even just to pay for the coffee. I mean, we forget to do that. We heard that before and it makes, I don't know. I hardly ever get anything for free. So if I even get the smallest thing for free, even if it's from like a rewards program, I'm so excited that day.
Yeah. I got something free.
Even if it wasn't from another person. So just think if you did.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday there was a homeless person outside and it was 100 and like, I don't know, my car said it was 113 degrees. So I was not going to let it go by. And I actually had a little gash on me, but I just felt that nudging from the Lord. And I'm like, if he's out there in that weather, he must really need the money. It just felt like even just something like that. And he was so excited. So I don't know, just anything the Lord puts a nudge on you or that you can think of doing. I mean, it changes that person's day and makes it better. Yeah. I know it makes mine better. Yeah. I'm like almost shocked when someone's kind to me.
When someone lets you go, when you're like trying to move on. Oh my gosh, they're like stopping and letting me in.
I know.
Because usually people don't do that.
Yeah, or when you're in line somewhere, or in your car.
Yeah, I meant in my car, but anywhere.
Yeah, like usually guys will cut in front of me in line too, and rarely get a gracious person that will even open the door for you or not cut in line.
And then you get it and you're like, I can't believe it. I'm in shock.
And then my whole day's better. So I think I want to start making other people's days a lot better. Yeah. Because those little tiny things matter.
Yeah. Yeah. This is convicting for me too. Yeah. Number 6, make time for hobbies. This is something I think we all struggle with, especially when life gets busy or overwhelming. But making time for things you genuinely enjoy is so important for your emotional health.
Yeah. So I remember when my brother once challenged everyone to write down 5 things they just love to do. And then actually make space for those things in their week. So like it could be painting, gardening, reading, journaling, photography, baking, crafts, whatever lights you up. Even if it's just a few minutes a day, doing something that brings joy can help you reconnect with yourself and with God. And I remember him saying, if everybody just came up with 5 things that they love to do and tried to do those things as often as possible, everybody would be much happier. Yeah. That's how he put it.
That's true, because there was a couple weekends ago, because usually our weekends go by so fast, and I feel like we go to the store and we do like all these errands, and they just fly by. But there was one weekend where I baked. I love baking, and baking to me makes me feel that way, where I feel like, I don't know what it is about baking, but I took the time to bake a couple different things, and I loved it. I look back at that weekend like, gosh, it was such a great weekend.
Yes. Yeah. And then my brother said, I love to fish. So now he tries to fish. Like, I need to do that more for sure.
Yeah.
To start doing things that I love. But I love being outside, so I make sure I do that every day.
Yeah.
I love spending
It's
time
hard
with
right now because
God.
it's so hot, but we were outside all day yesterday too. We went up north to Payson and then we went out on the lake kayaking, and it was so peaceful and beautiful just listening to the birds and seeing the clouds. And there is something very grounding about being in nature.
Yeah, so I need to start doing I got to add a couple more to the list though, because usually I do some things that I enjoy, but where I take some trips.
Yeah.
Go to Europe now.
Well, even just, spending some time out. I mean, thankfully it's starting to cool down so we can spend more time outside.
Yeah, I'm sure that we're not the only people in Arizona, but unless you live here, you don't understand.
Yeah, it's kind of like how it is in the Midwest where the winter here, it's like you can't go out because it's so hot.
I couldn't go for a walk till 8 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
It didn't cool down enough to go. But when I went for a walk, I loved it.
Yeah.
Makes you appreciate things more.
Well, we were going to go to the lake in the morning, but we thought, it's a holiday weekend and we didn't get up as early as we wanted to. So we went in the evening and there was people there, but it was certain parts of the lake there was nobody around. It looked like we had the whole lake to ourselves. And there was people out there playing music, which kind of took it away. They play their music really loud because I just like to hear nature, like, especially because we got there and the sun had already set. It was behind the mountain, so it was getting dark. And there was like reeds right by the lake. And there was like all these birds, like hundreds of birds that were going over, into the reeds.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had a nest back there, but just listening to all their different songs because there's so many different birds. And I'm like just listening, and there was ducks coming up to us. And
birds are cool.
Yeah, I love
birds chirping
birds.
this morning, and I was like,
yeah, I love in the morning when you can hear the birds when you first wake up.
Birds are very interesting if you watch them.
Yeah.
Like I had this crow that was at the park that was friends with a regular bird, and it would gawk really loud. It was scaring me a little bit, but then I realized that they were just buddies and they were playing because they'd mess around flying and they were playing. Like it was,
really?
Yeah, it was fun. And I was like, oh, they're friends. It's almost like one of those cartoons where the bird friend, it was like this unique friendship between two birds you wouldn't think were friends. But anyway, yeah, quite interesting because I saw them multiple days in a row and they would just play around. Yeah. I do kind of miss gardening, like planting and doing stuff like that. That's the one thing I miss.
Yeah.
But it was hard work, but it was worth it.
Yeah. I want to start an herb garden again because I had herbs because that's something that's doable. It's not so
very
overwhelming.
Therapeutic too.
Yeah.
Because you're not thinking about anything. Like,
yeah, you just get your hands dirty.
I think gardening takes your brain to like a really good place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Where you're not stressed and worried. You're just doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what I noticed about gardening. But I do love playing my guitar and singing worship. And so I need to really just try to do those things as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then taking my walks. And now that I can't run and
I like to read too, and I was going through my books because we're all in this downsizing mode, and like I don't want to buy anything else. But I was going through my books. I'm like, gosh, there's so many good books in here that I haven't read that I need to sit down and. Some books I started and I'm like 3/4 of the way through, 10 pages left. There's one book I'm like, this is a great book, but I lost my momentum or I got distracted. I'm like, I need to finish this book. Like,
I know I read like 6 books at a time, but I read them all the way through, and then I forget what it said, and I have to read it again.
Well, I have a hard time getting rid of books because I said either I read it and I loved it and I think I might want to read that again, or I haven't read it yet. Yeah. So it's hard to get rid of books.
That's why I like short little ones because then I can keep reading them. So we kind of just went over this. So you want to do the number 7?
Embrace nature. Yeah, there's something very calming and healing about just being outside and being aware, just listening to the trees rustle in the wind or listening to the birds, the different songs of the birds. And the sun on your face, the breeze in the trees. It's like God's creation is inviting us to slow down and rest.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I do too. Just sitting under a tree, looking at the sky. There's been more clouds in the sky. A lot of times Arizona doesn't have any clouds in the sky. And I love clouds, like just seeing the different, and at night it gets like this pink hue. We have amazing sunsets in Arizona.
Yeah.
And so just sitting and looking at the sky. Looking up and just quieting your mind, unplugging from your phone, spending time outside with the Lord can definitely make you feel peaceful and grounded.
So if you're not in Arizona, step outside, go for a walk.
Yes.
Sit under a tree.
Yeah.
Even just looking at the sky or listening to the wind can quiet your mind. And that's what you need to do is quiet your mind. You can't constantly be thinking or overthinking. That's not healthy for our minds.
Yeah. There's a thing called, I don't know if that's the right word, like forest therapy or something I've heard where you're something about there is something really scientific about being outside with trees or in the forest or something that's very grounding to you.
When I unplug from my phone and spend time outside with the Lord, I always feel more grounded and peaceful. And that was one thing I wanted to mention in this podcast too, is I think turning your phone off for an extended period of time, or at least one day a week, or taking significant time away from your phone, not looking at social media as much, is very, very good for your mind. I think if you start looking at it too much, I think it's bad for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So. And we weren't meant to, that stuff really, really gets to me when I see what's happening all over, and it's so distressing. It's hard because you want to be informed, because you want to be able to do something about it. But when you know everything, it is overwhelming too, to think, see the news of what's going on. It's just very overwhelming. Yeah.
And there was something today I read where one of those TikTok psychologist lady is a fraud.
Really?
Yeah. And so if you've been sitting there listening to all these people and they're not even, who knows what kind of false information, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, just spend time with the Lord.
Right.
But your Bible and the truth of the word. And
right. You never know. Things aren't always legit. On social media.
And so the last one is number 8. It's appreciate the small things. So joy isn't just found in big life events. It's in the everyday moments. The smell of coffee in the morning, the lyrics of a worship song that speaks straight to your heart, a kind text from a friend, a warm blanket. Oh, those are all nice. A moment of laughter. Those are all wonderful. These are the things that stack up and build a life of gratitude and joy if we take time to notice them.
Yeah. Even just reflecting on how good God is, and even with the craziness, knowing that God knows all things and taking it all to Him.
Yeah. And it is like laughter, like a moment of laughter, like after you're done laughing, your whole mood just changed.
Yeah.
And the thought of a warm blanket when it's cold, like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
These are really good examples.
Yeah. Who was those white blankets we got from your neighbor?
Oh, yeah. From Sam?
Sam. Yeah. That's still my favorite blanket.
It's right here?
Yes, that's right. I still have that because I'm like, we were going through all of our blankets because, we still haven't gone through all of our stuff because he's got a lot of blankets. I got a lot of blankets. I'm like, this is my favorite. We can't get rid of this blanket.
Hopefully Sam will listen to this one.
It's white and fluffy and it's
Thank
so
you, Sam.
soft. Thank you, Sam.
Sam's always been a great donor too.
Yes.
Always.
That was such a nice blanket.
He's always been so kind.
Yeah.
When we were both single, he got
us Valentine's chocolates. Yeah. That was so sweet. Very nice and thoughtful. So final thoughts. Happiness is personal. Happiness isn't a checklist or a destination. It's a journey, and it's deeply personal. What fills you with joy might look different from someone else, and that's okay. The goal is to discover what brings you peace, fulfillment, and delight, and then build your life around those moments.
So whether you start your day with a prayer, practice mindfulness, move your body, connect with others, or simply pause to enjoy something small, know that each little choice adds up.
And every step you take is moving you closer to the kind of joy that stays with you, even in the hard seasons. And definitely in this day and age where the world feels really crazy, we definitely need that.
Yeah, so we know how important it is as abuse survivors, trauma survivors, to do these things every day. So we hope this podcast helped you in some way. At least you can try to find a few moments to do any of these things, and it'll help you in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially being in the Word of God, I think is very, very important. And to be moving your body, because it definitely affects your mood.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And we just thank you for all of our listeners, and we pray that you find some joy and find some calmness in this crazy world right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you for listening to the podcast.
Yes. Have a great day.
So we hope that this helped. What do we want to say? Good thing I edit. Good thing we're not live.
Thanks for tuning in to Hanging On to Hope. Check out our website, hangingontohope.org. There are resources on there, and if you would like to donate or volunteer, you can do that through our website. We are a brand new nonprofit, so we appreciate any and all support. And we thank you for listening, and until next time, keep hanging on to hope. We are evidence that there is hope and healing for you, and our passion is to help you find it too. So thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening, everyone.